Well, that's quite annoying. The camera cut off. So we're dealing with a divine masculine chosen one. Right over here. Here's what we got so far. You guys can see that. I'm not sure. So, I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Jules. You guys are watching anyways. Alright, let's see what souls we're dealing with here. Alright. We got a fan. What are we dealing with the fan? Alright, with the fan who's a poet. Overlord of the Abyss, Abaddon. Pestilence, corruption, and malice. Okay. That sounds like the fan. That, was it, Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro movie? A little bit too much of a fan. Alright, what about this, Taurus? Who is this Taurus? Taurus is commitment, acquisition, and responsibility. Osiris. What about this divine masculine over here? Chosen one. Because the divine masculine was confirmed by chosen one, which is absolutely magical. Ah! So who is this divine masculine? Plezis. Come out, wherever you are. Hey, Heavenly Father, who is this divine masculine? I'll go through it one more time. If it's not popping out any cards, this isn't the deck for this divine masculine. Nope. Alright. Next. Actually, you go over here. Let's go with Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. I love this oracle. Probably be splitting this reading up into parts, if I'm not mistaken, probably. Alright, tell me about this fan, this poetic fan. Okay, that was quick. We've got 5, Deep, Warning, Kelpie. Oh boy. 5 might be relevant. If you are given a warning, you should heed it. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. Understand your current limitations, yet extend your skills. Your intuition may be asking you to be aware of a danger. Pay heed. So duality is warning and ignorance. Kelpie is the famous one is Loch Ness. Shapeshifter, normally one that changes from its more monstrous form in the water into a land-based animal like a black horse, and pretty much every decent-sized body of water in Scotland has a kelpie attached to it. Okay. So, a shapeshifter. So this fan, who is a poet, it's a poet in the upright, which is expresses soul insights in symbolic language. But we've also got Abaddon, pestilence, corruption, and malice, and Kelpie, which is a warning. So I think, methinks, obsessed fan is what I'm gathering so far. So that is a warning. Shapeshifter is this fan. Alright, what about Taurus? Alright, Mr. or Mrs. Taurus. Fear. A poof. Yeah. Boy. Interesting. 12 might be relevant. I know how this resonates. At least for me. So. Let's go with 12. Alright. You must understand your fears if you can. Stand strong against your fear. Fear is natural and useful emotion as it protects you. What doesn't are fears that are not real. You must learn that not all fears are real. Some fears you carry are not your own. Confront fears. Death is a part of life. Fear, freedom, reality, imagination. Apuch is a Mayan god of the dead. Is one of the deities that who are truly frightening. All right. Someone who's proud that they can induce fear. So either he will wait patiently for your death, hunt you, and stalk you. This will make you frightened and yum. There's more fear food for him. Gulps people's fear down with relish, yet he's rarely sated. Alpuk loses his power when his bells cannot be heard, and he is faced with courage. This is done if Apuk is not heard but faced or simply ignored. He slinks back into his underworld home. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gathering is this Taurus is a social good nurturer. He's got a fan that's a little bit obsessive attached to him or her. He or she, the dude. There's a warning there. Warning with this fan. Let's check the alignment of this fan and this divine masculine. Real quick before I go further. Alright. So what's the alignment of this fan? Rebel, neutral, rogue, acts without care for good and evil or for the law. So someone who basically works in their own best interest. Alright, what about this divine masculine? What about this divine masculine? Got 2 alignments. Nope. Just 1, Lord. Just 1. Alright, Divine Masculine is a lawful good crusader, combines honor and compassion. So, rebel, neutral rogue, acts without care for good and evil or for the law. So this person isn't such a bad person, but acts within their own self-interest. This fan. Poetic, you know, good with words. But there's corruption and malice behind, and there's a warning here with the Kelpies. 5. This person, emotions run deep. There's some sort of malice here with this fan. Jealousy. Is agreeing with jealousy. Shapeshifter. Okay. So this Taurus might fear this fan. That they're gonna be at a loss for something. A good storyteller and a guide. So a relatively decent person, social good nurturer, somebody who wants what's best for everybody and thinking of everybody. It kind of seems like a selfless individual. Okay, so what about this Divine Masculine? Chosen one. (21) Dark Illumination, Hecate. 21 might be relevant for this Divine Masculine. Seeking you shall find. Sometimes you need to travel through darkness to find the real treasure. Almost anything worth doing takes time. Move off the crossroads. It's time to make a considered decision. Keep your focus on your purpose. Do not wander off the path. Darkness and illumination. Alright. Okay. A dark deity can illuminate, it says. When Persephone was taken by Hades into the underworld and Zeus and Demeter negotiated for her return, it was her friend, the goddess Hecate, who lit torches for her friend to guide her home. So, this Divine Masculine is either illuminating a way for this Taurus, this social good nurturer, or this Taurus is illuminating for this Divine Masculine a way out, a way home, a way back to where they're supposed to be. Like somebody who's dark or perceived as dark is, you know, it's a good friend, you know. Well, at least in this case, Hecate was a good friend of Persephone, leading her back home. She in of herself is a torch, a beacon. Okay, so tell me more. Breaking out the elemental oracle. So, what about this fan? What's going on with this fan? Why is there a warning with the shapeshifter? Wildness, electricity, 36 might be relevant. (36) Embrace your wildness, break free from your self-imposed constraints, take immediate action. There is no need for further consideration of your problem. You contain the spark of the divine, so there is no reason to feel lesser. Confront the issue head on. So this person, this fan is facing an issue. Electricity, lightning, like a bolt of lightning. And it said warning, and you know, right before lightning strikes, you get those, you know, your hair starts rising on your skin. So something's gonna go off. Perhaps that's what the warning is. The shapeshifter might be breaking out of their shell like a bolt of lightning. Alright, we'll find out more in a minute. What about this Taurus? The social good nurturer. How about this Taurus? The biome, connection. 44 might be relevant. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. You are asked for synergy at present. Be aware of the needs of others. You are part of the same whole. Consider working more closely with your community. Connection. Might be the connection between this Taurus and the fan and this divine masculine of some kind. Or a choice between the two. There's a fear, though. This person who wants the best for everybody, but you can't people please. You can't please and make everybody happy. You gotta do what makes you happy. You want to follow your commitments with Osiris. Follow your commitments. And follow through with your responsibility, but you have a fear because there's something more that you want. And the person who is eliciting this fear is enjoying it. And the only way you can get away from this fear is by either ignoring it or confronting it head on. If you confront your fear head on, it doesn't give it any more power. And there's a connection here. Or two different connections. Tree on the inside of that reminds me of like a family tree. A family tree with different parts of the family surrounding it. This could be a family issue. Alright, how about this divine masculine? Alright, tell me more about this divine masculine. Alright. Do I take both these cards? Do I take the bottom one? Okay. Alright. Fluidity, outer core, 12 might be relevant. Got 12, 12. One right next to the other. Oh. You got the 12. Crap. I suck at this. I'm new. 12 and 12. Right across from each other. And then we got 2, 1, 1, 2. Synchronicity. 2, 1, 1, 2, and 12, 12. Right next to each other, which is hilarious, actually. The outer core for this divine masculine. Be fluid in your thinking. Holding on to old ideas in a rigid way is not beneficial for you. A nimble mind is a healthy mind. It is never too late to admit you were wrong or to change your mind according to new information. Being open to new ideas and feeling confident to transform old ones, especially if you're given more information, is the way to navigate change. So this divine masculine has to be open and willing to adapt to change and accept that change is inevitable and that it's okay to change. So there's a change coming, or a change already occurred, or is about to occur. Also, hello and thank you for being here. I appreciate you listening and taking the time to watch this read. And your likes. And your comments. Alright, let's see here. Fan. What we got going on with this fan? Alright. We've got beloved, radical acceptance, and stranger curiosity. 53 and 2 might be relevant. Curiosity and acceptance, moving past fear of differences. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of other beyond something to fear. You must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience, but don't miss this opportunity for learning. So this person is a shapeshifter, or they're a fan, but they're trying to be something they're not. And that they don't have to be one or the other, they can just be themselves. Yeah, the shapeshifter energy, warning, and malice, corruption, pestilence. It's taking being a fan a bit too far, or admiration. And this has to do with the object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one that you have been waiting for. It's radical acceptance of yourself. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to the judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke. Careful you are not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. So this is about a love. Someone as a lover, love of themselves or love of someone else. This person is shifting and transforming and trying to squeeze their way into a position that's not comfortable for them, for perhaps out of malice, out of jealousy. There's a warning here. Definite warning. Powerful. She's got he or she has got to stranger. So this is somebody that either this Taurus or this divine masculine doesn't know of this fan. Not a bad person, but it just acts without thinking. That acts without thinking of the consequences and the long-term ramifications of their actions. All for the sake of love. But there's no self-love here. This is the object of affection. But the reality of the situation of the individual is going to burst out of them eventually. All right, what about the Taurus? All right, what about this Taurus? We have perfect storm, the courage to step into life. 44. Shit you not. 44 and 44. Perfect storm, the courage to step into life. So this Taurus is going to make a choice. An invitation to act now, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence. It's a warning for you to be cautious and ready for exciting, if not turbulent, time. Key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness to the forces build in intensity. Notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around and recognize how little of it you truly need. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind, and the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what might you lose during this perfect storm, know that it is those things we are most attached to that are taken first. As if life were trying to unburden us from our righteous self-importance. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you'll be. Ride the winds to your next destination. Embrace the rain or snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. It's also a call to seize the moment. It might be an opportunity that you might need to take advantage of right now. Time is of the essence and may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew, and take the storm and all of its terrifying greatness, experience, and fullness of life. You will succeed. So this Taurus is faced with the choice. He wants to do the right thing and wants everybody to be happy, but when shit hits the fan, it's the stuff that we hold closest and prize the most that is taken first. So if you're if your focus is on material things or particular material things, those things will be taken first. Those will be ripped from your freaking hands. But if you don't attach yourself to anything and kind of go with the flow, there won't be any dramatic or true dramatic loss. And whatever you lose, you can always gain back. And if not gained back, then the universe will replace it with something better. You just have to have the courage to step into the life that you want. Not necessarily sometimes that takes sacrifices. If you want something, sometimes you're faced with a choice. You can choose one thing or the other. You choose to stay, choose to go. You can choose to focus on materialism and what you can possibly lose instead of focusing on what you can gain. And sometimes when you end up taking that loss, you realize that what you gained is far exceeds anything that you would ever lost. Me and my old man pipe. Okay, so what about this divine masculine? Nope. We've got caterpillar opportunity 4. 44, 44, and 4. Goodness. Caterpillar opportunity. Caterpillars go into their cocoon and transform. There's another transformation. So, illuminating the way, being fluid in a transition and opportunity, transformation, independence from conditioned responses. The transformation opportunity point. Invitation to test out a new strategy to get a different, better result. Remember that the definition of lunacy is continuing the same thinking and behavior and hoping for a different outcome. It's time to break away from habitual responses to surprise yourself and startle others, eliciting a smile or frown or a look of awe from those around you. Sometimes no response is a response, and standing stock still, staring steadily into the eyes of the players in your drama, avoiding engagement until the moment is right. Witness the story unfolding, knowing that deciding on the timing of your action is as essential as finding the best move to make. Chess, not checkers. So methinks this is a twin flame reading. So there's an opportunity for this divine masculine. And it's going to require transformation. And either this divine masculine is leading the way for this this Taurus or this fan, or one has to be fluid. And when you're fluid, you're like water, like the whole Bruce Lee quote. Be like water. Flow, go with the flow. And be prepared to bend with every curve. It's being soft and strong at the same time. Alright. Tell me about this fan. So, what does this fan have to do with this Taurus and this divine masculine? What does this fan have to do with this Taurus and divine masculine? Resistance, 40. Maybe a strong wind coming your way. However, you do have the ability to find a path of least resistance. Have you ever seen a crow get thrown by the wind? The bird may be taken off guard, but it finds its balance again. Its resistance brings obstacles or adds friction to a situation. Resistance might manifest itself as a need for approval from an outside influences that take longer to achieve. Be adaptable and find the path of least resistance. So there's going to be more bumps in the road for whoever this fan is. Bumps in the road. Alright, what's with the... Okay, I was going to say, what's with the malice? Communication, 9 might be relevant. Brings the message to speak up, state what you want. You may think those around you know your needs and desires, but that may not be the case. Articulate your wishes. Get clear on what you want. Be clear on what you want. Communication is absolutely mandatory for survival in this world. We underestimate the importance of communication a great deal, and also underestimate how complex it can be. There's always room for misunderstanding. Unfortunately, that's due to different perspectives and perceptions. And that's all situationally dependent. So, alright, what about this Taurus? What is this perfect storm? What is this Taurus facing? And 3 cards. There's a distance between. 14 might be relevant. Freedom, 19 might be relevant. And influence, 25 might be relevant. So distance, there might be a distance between this Taurus and the situation, or this Taurus and the fan, or the divine masculine. But with distance, you're provided with perspective. Looking objectively at a situation, pros and cons. Looking at the sun in the background, it's like a light at the end of the tunnel. And through a clear path. See, when you see and take yourself out of the situation, you see all the obstructions in your way that could thwart your path. But if you gain some distance from it, you can see your way out towards the light at the end of the tunnel. You may need to consider if growth within a situation or relationship is at risk of being stunted due to being overly critical or nitpicky. Or you be able to see the potential despite a few flaws. So it's taking good with the bad. Instead of like looking at a person as like their individual flaws and where they fall short, it's important to take a step back and look at the person as a whole. Because if you take like, actually if you split somebody's face in half, I know it sounds really morbid, but if you take a picture of a person's face and then mirror it to the other side, a person looks completely different than what they would with their faces, because both sides of our face aren't symmetrical exactly. Even the most symmetrical person has differences on each side of their face that causes their face to, you know, appear. It looks weird when you mirror somebody's half of somebody's face. Sometimes they resemble more of the same person, but sometimes they look really weird. But are you being nitpicky about those individual flaws, those different parts and stuff that make up a person, or are you focused on, you know, looking at the whole of a person and how all those flaws, all those beauty marks and whatnot comprise the entire being of an individual, how it makes them who they are, and see the beauty within that. There's a freedom that's desired. You don't need to stay where you are, it says. You can change your position. You can rise up and see the world from a different point of view. You have the wings. All you need is a desire and self-confidence to fly. Freedom brings movement and flexibility and the ability to expand your horizons. What is your definition of freedom? You want the freedom to make your own decisions. There's crows here. This is a crow here. So there's a desire for freedom, or there's a want of freedom, or perhaps you just want freedom. There's a need for freedom. And influence has to do with, you know, there's people who are bad influences, good influences, and it's all dependent on who you're around. Is if you're a good influence on somebody, that's awesome. You're social good nurturer. You want what's best for everybody. But if you got someone next to you who's who acts without care or good and evil, or for the law for that matter, you're gonna end up being right smack dab in the middle with whoever that is. It's unbalanced. You want what's best for everybody, but you also have to think about what's best for you too. And what's best for you, it isn't always something that can be bought or purchased or had on a material level. Sometimes it's just something within your soul, something that speaks to your soul. And in order to find what it is that you actually need, you need to put aside and get distance from you and whatever it is that you're clinging to, because whatever it is you're clinging to, it's going to go poof. Because storm's coming. And the more you distance yourself from whatever it is you're clinging to, the more you can realize that, you know, hey, I don't actually need this after all. Or it's not as important as I thought it was. It's kind of like a safety blanket, like Linus's blanket from Charlie Brown. And influence, and you got to be mindful of who's around you that's influencing your decisions. Is it for your greater good or their greater good? Are you being a good influence, or are you allowing other people to influence you? Influence you to make choices that you wouldn't otherwise make under the circumstances. All right, so what's about this divine masculine? Tell me about this divine masculine. Soar, 46, might be relevant. Have the confidence to fly. Get up, open your wings, and feel the supportive wind carry you to your destination. There are no obstacles in your way. Now it's time to move. Conjure up your courage and take action. Receive information needed to progress quickly with confidence toward your goal. It is in this space that blocks are removed and events flow beautifully as you sail on to success. So this is a period of good luck for this divine masculine. It's a period of transition, a period of growth. Moving forward, making a choice and going with the flow, flying, soaring. And the white flowers on there represents a white is like a purity. So it's a clean, like kind of like a clean slate almost. A new beginning. So there's a new beginning ahead. But one needs the courage to take flight and jump. Like cliff dive to that new beginning. We are at 46:42. Okay. This is going to be, well, broken up. Alright. Break out the prism. Usually my reads last about 3 hours. So. Alright. So what is the overall theme that we're dealing with? Usually I do this beforehand. So what is the theme for this fan, this Taurus, and this divine masculine? Okay, so the fan. Abundance. This person's focused on wealth. This fan. This fan is focused solely, was it solely upon wealth? Hold on. Alright. Heavenly Father. This abundance, is that what this fan is focused solely upon? Or more on? Yes. I'm gonna go in there so you guys can see it. Is it wealth, abundance that they're focused on? Yes. So, this fan is focused on abundance. Strikes me as the type that would do anything to keep it. But they're not voicing what it is that they actually want. And they're facing resistance on whatever plans that they have set in motion. There's going to be a bit of a crimp in whatever plan this person has, but they're shapeshifters. This person is a shapeshifter. And working out of a not a very healthy space. It's more self-serving than anything. Alright, what about, okay, consciousness. Awake. Maybe this, as it came out sideways, I usually take them sideways. Consciousness, this person, this Taurus is waking up. Waking up to the situation on where their life is heading. What they really, really want. Or being conscious to the situation that is before them. Conscious to the influence, the desire for freedom, and the distance required to gain a better, broader perspective on what they want out of life, the situation, the relationship. But either way, their storm is brewing and they have a choice to make. And it's better to detach yourself from things that you hold, you hold too close to your chest. You clutch too tightly too, because those are the ones that are going to get ripped away first. Like, having a child's teddy bear, ripped away from them to teach them how to self-soothe, which sounds cruel. But the only way you can learn to stand on your own is to have those things taken from you. That way you learn to adapt and transition and grow from there. All right, what about this divine masculine? What's the theme for this divine masculine? Yeah, anxiety. Sort of came out sideways. The anxiety, is that supposed to be in the upright? No. Is it supposed to be reversed? It came out sideways. Is it supposed to be sideways? Yes. Okay, so this divine masculine is working on not allowing the anxiety to get the best of them. Letting magic, working their magic, or, you know, acknowledging the magic within them to overcome whatever obstacles that they face. That you don't always have to fear the future. You don't always have to fear what lies ahead. You just need to soar and go with it and roll with the punches, roll with the changes. And don't be anxious about change or fear it, but, you know, accept it as it is and take the opportunity to jump when life says you better freaking jump. Okay. Let's go Wisdom Oracle. Okay. So, what is going on with this fan? What is the attachment? What's with the malice in the attachment? What's with the malice, attachment, and abundance? What's with that? Alright. So what's this fan? And conclusion. 12 might be relevant. Conclusion. This person is concerned with an ending. But with every ending, there's a new beginning. Or maybe this person is trying to prevent an ending by placing obstacles in the way, providing resistance, and not communicating what's actually needed or desired to prevent a conclusion. Or they just need to accept the fact that there is going to be a conclusion and, you know, not to fear that, because with every ending there's always going to be a new beginning. All right, what's the conclusion? What's this conclusion? Denial. They're in denial that something's going to end. 14 might be relevant. Or they're denied of something. You have to wait for, you know, just because you can't have it now doesn't mean you can't have it later. It's waiting until the fruit is ripe in order to be picked. But if you pick a fruit before it's ripe, it's going to have a sour, nasty taste to it. So you got to wait until it comes to fruition, basically. Well, not fruition, but ripeness, before you can take it. But if you take something before it's meant to be taken, it's going to just get all sour. It's going to taste sour, and then it's going to get rotted and gross. And it's just, you won't be able to enjoy it. And just because you're denied something right now doesn't necessarily mean it's something that you're going to be denied later. And if it's love or abundance that you love and want, you know, sometimes waiting is, you know, the best part is in the waiting. Because you get to learn who you are and what you're made out of and what you need to learn in the process. I had to learn that the hard way myself. It's all like that Miley Cyrus song, it's all about the climb. It's not the destination. It's the journey. And it's how you get there and how you decide to get there that matters. Not that you do get there, because you will eventually, but you gotta put into action, the steps to take to get to your destination. And the only way you can get to your destination is if you go through the steps and go through that journey. There's unfortunately no teleportation when it comes to life. As much as some people like the movie Click with Adam Sandler, you fast forward the boring parts of your life and you're missing out on all those small tender moments, the things that actually do matter. All right, so Taurus, what do you got? What are you facing? Or actually, what's your decision? What's going to happen when you make your choice? What's going to happen when you make your choice? Moon. That likes to come out. 50 might be relevant. Moon. It's necessary to look beyond the obvious to know the truth of things. Sometimes people will say one thing and you have a weird feeling that they mean something else altogether. Yeah, you have this power. You're being asked to use it now. Look. So choose another card to find out. Okay, so. Alright. Clarify this moon. This mystery. Obedience. 48 might be relevant. Following divine guidance. That just popped into my head. What rules are you considering when you ask your question? You will be sorry if you are going to break a rule that is in place to protect you and others. Even though you may not be like authority right now, this is the time to obey what has already been set in motion. This is time to learn the lay of the land and to follow the customs that keep things in order. Learn the steps of the dance before you attempt to change them to suit you. So, you want freedom, a sudden abrupt change. You want to break loose. But you need to distance yourself and learn the steps before you can dance. And not allow anybody to influence you one way or the other, because it has to be an autonomous decision that you make that's for your greater good and your highest good. But that's what's going on behind the scenes. Or it's you want to be obedient to what you said you were going to do, or you were requested of doing, or you were being requested of. All right, tell me about this obedience. Let's get this some clarity on this obedience. Give some clarity on the obedience. Hope. Listening to your higher self and having hope. When the moon is hidden in the dark forest, it's hard to see your next step, and it is easy to give in to the fear that there will never be safety or light again. I'm here to guide you when you have lost your way, whispering to you to maintain faith that good things will come your way once more. Have hope, and only good will come of it. So this Taurus is worried about, what are they worried about? What are they hoping? They're worried about something. The moon's here. What are they worried about? How complicated? 11 might be relevant. There's something that's more complicated. Sometimes you make it more complicated. Sometimes there are so many elements to consider that it can be next to impossible to understand them all in the moment, especially when you most want to find an answer. Right now, things are complex, and only time will help you put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Just remember, simple can also be boring, and complications can make for deeper, more mature experiences. So nothing is ever really cut and dry. Although one wishes it could be just one way or another. You know, there's a lot of obstacles faced in this Taurus's path, which is why this Taurus needs to take a step back and really do an inventory on not only what's most important to this person, to them, but to find the path that's clearest for them to take. And that will complicate things a lot less. You're guided by hope that things will turn out in the end, and whatever you lose or you think you're going to lose is something that's you're going to end up gaining back in the long run. And even if you don't gain the same thing, you'll have something in equal measure, but it's all dependent on what you value as being important. If you value material things or something that's spiritual and of the heart, then you know you might get something of the heart that's and you learn to, or you just lose out on things that would have benefited you. Sometimes we cling to things that we shouldn't be clinging to out of fear that we're never going to get them back, but we don't have that trust within us to actually acknowledge the fact that it can be replaced with something better, and that's to our highest good in the long run. All right, about this divine masculine. What about this divine masculine? What's going on with this divine masculine? Fulfillment. 20 might be relevant. Now is the time to integrate and digest what you have learned of late. Savor every moment and know that every encounter is intended to feed your soul. You're meant to have a rich, satisfying life and taste all that experience has to offer. Look around and recognize all the ways that your life is already full. You have so many reasons to feel good about yourself. All is well, and you will be well when you choose fulfillment. So whatever this divine masculine is actually facing, they're moving ahead to they're soaring away, they're flying away, they're moving on to whatever outcome they have it, and it's going to be fruitful for them. They just have to keep in check their anxiety and not worry, but either their highest self, using their intuition and following their heart, will illuminate their path, and trusting in the unknown and trusting in the universe, or being that beacon to help lead others to change and become fluid and transform into and take the opportunities as they present themselves to soar and move beyond what previous setbacks and whatnot, and in that they'll find fulfillment. So that High Priestess of Water, 4 and 4 in the same 4 and 4. Lots of 4s out here. Between the Taurus and the Divine Masculine, a lot of 4s. I gotta look that up. Or if you guys want to, go for it. But there are a lot of 4s. Okay, so High Priestess of Water. It's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The transforming element that flows in rivers, makes waves in the vast ocean, turns to hard, cold ice, and disperses as hot steam. Signifies a time when things in your life are changing shape right before your very eyes. Go with the flow, as these changes are powerful signs of wondrous experiences, lessons, and gifts. Even if you don't understand these changes at the moment, you will later. So this is a good time for this Divine Masculine. And water is emotions, but you follow your heart. The third eye is the moon. Moon right in the middle. Moon and moon. Moon, moon. Let's get one more for the High Priestess of Water, the Divine Masculine. What's the self-worth? 32 might be relevant. So this Divine Masculine has realized their self-worth. Do you believe in yourself, or do you want behave in a way that tells others you are not worthy? Act with self-respect. Love yourself. Keep your head held high. And no matter what setbacks you face, keep your head up high. Keep your head held up high. And see the wearing the heart on the shoulder? To keep your, it's like you keep your heart on your sleeve, but keeping your heart closer to you. You can wear your heart on your sleeve for all the world to have. But it's best to have, self-worth and pull that back and see it resting on your shoulder. It's pulling your heart back, so it's not necessarily on your sleeve. You're, it's out there and able to give it and stuff, but you're holding it back a little bit because you're protecting yourself, because you have self-worth. You know your worth. Alright. The I Ching Soul's Journey. And call it good. Oh yeah. And so let's get let's get a rune. Alright, so Rooney runes. So what we got for this fan? I could delve further into this read, actually, with my other cards. Honestly, I think this is pretty much well self-explanatory at this point. Alright, so tell me about this fan. Oh. Trust, partnership, Iwas. Again, I wish this was in alphabetical order. Okay, transformation, renewal. Questioning, reversal of situation, or transforming to calm, rebirth, regeneration, wisdom, movement towards light, initiation. So another transformation card. So in the end, this this fan, this rebel, neutral, rogue fan, is gonna has to have trust in the universe, for the transformation that's gonna occur, and have the confidence to move forward with whatever happens. Okay, what about this Taurus? Weird. Unknowable secrets. Is that weird or rude? What is it? Where is it? Goodness. See, this is why. There it is. Okay. Unknown secret. Is an irreversible and inevitable event, secret, silence to the question, fate unknowable, uncontrollable. The rune of destiny indicates that the events that are about to occur are not under your control and must remain secret or hidden. Weird does not decide for you. You have your own free will, your freedom to make your own choices when faced with an opportunity. She advises you to follow the natural course of things and try not to control everything. She helps you to understand that anything can happen in your life, a happy event, a birth, a success, or even a loss, physical or symbolic. So there's something that confirms the perfect storm card with the unknowable change, unforeseeable change. There's something that's going to rock your world. And you can't, and it's a secret. You can't know all the details of it, but you have to take the opportunity as it presents themselves in order to move forward. You can either sit back in the past and exist there and not move forward and live, comfortably in your comfort zone, or you can take a step forward. Either way, you're going to be faced with a decision, because something is going to come and rock your freaking world. All right. And that's just inevitable. It's something that you can't prevent. All right. Divine Masculine. We've got Surrender. Waning Crescent. Yeah, I got these cards off of Etsy. It's the Runic Odyssey Oracle. I was fascinated by runes and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this looks nifty. All right. Surrender. You may feel empty during this time. This is a good time to withdraw from the world and rest. Prepare yourself for the approach of the end of a cycle and preparation of a new one. Recovery, contemplation, and relaxation. So this is the lull before, something it's on the very edge of change. And this Divine Masculine is learning not to be anxious about it, but just rolling with the punches, and, whatever happens, happens, whatever, come what may. And you surrender to the universe, surrendering to, not having an outcome, not having all of the answers. Like I said, you don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes you just have to work on faith, and faith in the higher power, faith in yourself, faith in whatever it is that you believe in. Have your self-worth, and keep your heart on your sleeve. Just don't keep it on your wrist. Keep it up on your shoulder where you can keep a close eyeball on it, so nobody can come over and shake your hand and rip it off. And whatever path and whatever journey this Divine Masculine is on, is going to end with fulfillment. And they just need to prepare for liftoff, because a change is coming. Change and transition is coming, and it's important to, accept what is and be open to what could be. All right, so Soul's Journey. Alright, so what about this? Rebel, neutral, rogue fan. What is the lesson for this individual? Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Learning your self-esteem, to be confident within yourself that you are just beautiful and fine just the way you are. You don't have to work out of self-serving. You don't have to, money isn't always the answer. Abundance isn't always the answer. You gotta trust in the universe if you want anything for yourself. And it's gotta be something that's meant for you and for your highest good, not what's meant for you in the moment. It's gotta look at the long run of things. And that speak out to the universe what you want, and understand that endings are merely beginnings. But sometimes conclusions are unsettling, especially if you get used to something or a situation or a person and stuff. But just understand that no matter what happens, it's not a denial of anything that you can have in your future. It's just something that you weren't meant to have, or something that you have to wait for. You have to wait for your fruit to ripen before you can pluck it and enjoy it. And you got to trust in the universe, and trust in the transformative powers of cycles and seasons in your life. All right, so, oh, that was quick. Guilt. This Taurus, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth, in reverse. So this Taurus needs to let go of the guilt. Let go of the guilt, let go of any thoughts that prevent you from moving forward. You let go of any, anything that's holding you back, that's, anything that's negative that's holding you back is something that is not meant for you. It's not meant for your highest good. It's not meant for your journey. It's not meant for, it holds you back and prevents you from moving forward and learning and evolving. And once you overcome those obstacles, you can move forward with greater tenacity and vigor and preparedness for whatever it lays ahead. And it's just, and it's okay to shed yourself of those feelings and stuff, because they're not serving you. They're not doing anything good for you. It's just, yeah, holding you back. All right, what about this Divine Masculine? All right, what is the Divine Masculine? Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason, in reverse. So this Divine Masculine is learning that people are in their life for a reason. That friendships come and go, but there's a purpose for somebody entering or even exiting your life. And this is what this Divine Masculine it needs to learn, is that everybody serves their purpose. We all have a life that we live, and the people, and it's our life, our own personal life, and who we choose to bring in to our life doesn't become our life. They're additions to our life. They have their own separate lives and their own separate paths and stuff, but they, encourage us. They add to ours, or they're supposed to, instead of taking it away. And some people are, only meant to be around to teach lessons. Sometimes they're there for life, but each person is a learning experience, because no matter what relationship you have with anybody, you can glean some information and some wisdom from each relationship you have, whether it's good or bad, whether it lasts or it doesn't. And that's what this Divine Masculine needs to learn, that just because somebody exits your life or comes into your life, they're in your life for a reason. You don't just happen upon them. They're brought into your life for a reason. And sometimes, we misunderstand what that reasoning is. Why are people in our lives the way they are? What is the purpose of them being in my life? And sometimes the message doesn't come, or the lesson of that doesn't make itself known until later. Or they're in your life for, now for a purpose for later. Or they're a part of your life for your purpose, to help them and help you. All right, so it's I Ching. Let's see here. What about this fan? We've got 62. Above thunder, below mountain. Thunder on the mountain, a call to awareness. Great success comes not only through monumental acts, but also by attending small matters with the same dedication and attention. Thunder itself cannot change the mountain, but its presence speaks of changes to come nonetheless. Attention paid to seemingly inconsequential things may prove vital to success. Observe right behavior at all times, and offer courtesy to all beings, however lowly. So don't think yourself higher than anybody else. Give the same courtesy and respect to people, no matter their stature, no matter their you know, position in life, because it could very well come to a point where you are in that reverse point yourself, and wouldn't you want someone to treat you with courtesy? Be a close attention to detail in the, but again, you know, this is a indicator that something new is heading your way. There's going to be a jarring, a transition, and you have to be prepared for whatever it is that lay ahead. And be sure to communicate your wants and needs. Don't make it, demanding, but show courtesy when you're asking for what you want. And yeah, communicate. And there's going to be resistance, there's going to be setbacks in whatever plans you have, but like I was saying before, things never turn out quite as we plan them, as we'd like them to be. All right, what about this Taurus? 53 might be relevant. All right. Above wind, below mountain. A tree on the mountain. Right action takes time. Trees do not grow overnight, and a tree on a mountain faces particular challenges of wind and weather. Any expectation of rapid growth is unrealistic, and it is the slowness of a tree's growth that gives it strength. A great endeavor takes time to gather its resources, influence the people, and plan the right action. High aspirations will be achieved, but only in their proper season. Haste will not further the situation. So you want to move fast, but you're also a Taurus. You're slow as balls. So, I'm sorry. But the change takes time. You want your freedom and stuff, but it takes time. And honestly, you're going to take your time because, well, you're a Taurus. You kind of do that. It's kind of, I'll move when I say I'll move. But it's also a change and transition and stuff is not something that you're keen on. And being a fixed sign myself, I can attest to this. I'm not particularly fond of change, but I actually going with it because change is good. Change is, keeps you on your toes. But there's going to be an upheaval of some sort. My cat is behind my back, and you, kitty, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. He's a kitty. He's a cat. He's a cat. Alright, go that way. I love you. But, change is going to happen, and you gotta, not be so stiff. Gotta roll with the punches. And don't let other people influence your decisions either. But yeah, something's gonna come out and rock your freaking world. And it's best to be prepared for that and stuff. But you also gotta keep a balance between, taking your time to make the correct decision and keeping your distance to maintain that objectivity. But you also are faced in life with decisions that you need to take immediate action on. Otherwise, you're going to lose that opportunity. And so it's one of those, you take your time as, sometimes taking as much time as you need isn't an option. Because sometimes you're faced with a decision where it's just like, okay, you have to think on your feet. Is it going to be this or is it this? And as much time as we would enjoy to sit and mull it over and chew on it for years on end, sometimes, those opportunities are fleeting, because just like life ebbs and flows, those opportunities ebbs and flows, and they have an expiration date just like we do. So it's just entirely dependent on what you want and what you're prepared for in the moment. Alright, divine masculine. What you got here? 52. 52. 53, 52. That's funny. Above mountain, below mountain. A mountain range, the quietness of rest. Mountains close together enhance each other stillness and stability. They form a sanctuary where the demands of the world can be set aside and all movement ceases. When one enters into such a spirit of stillness, restlessness disappears. The heart is soothed into quietness. The time of keeping still will be followed by a time of movement. But for now, this moment is all there is. So this is the quiet before the wee. So this divine masculine is yeah, is in for a ride too, but it's a beautiful takeoff. It has a lot of potential. I mean, not complete and total upheaval, but opportunities are going to present themselves to this divine masculine. And this divine masculine combines honor and compassion as a lawful good crusader. They're open to an adventure to maybe that's this divine masculine's purpose, is to illuminate a path for other people to follow. And although they can seem dark, there's darkness. I mean, it's duality. There's darkness with light, and being that beacon of hope. But there's a transition coming. A definite transition coming, and is surrender to the process. This divine masculine is to surrender to the process and accept the fact that you're not going to always have all the answers. You don't need all the answers. It just happens that way. That's how the universe works. They don't give you all the answers. They give you enough to work on and stuff, but ultimately, you'll find the answers later in the process during the journey, or you have to learn the answers for yourself. Or the answers will change dependent on the actions that you take. So if you have the answers right now, you can't, it's one of those, you can't pre-plan. But you could pre-plan life and stuff, but you can't pre-plan, every single detail of what life's going to chuck at you. I'm going to end this. Hi, cat. You're going to go behind me and scratch up my back again, aren't you? Oh, of course you are. It's like, I am comfy there. All right, so what are the lessons for this fan? Lessons, principles. All right. At Tai Chi trigrams, you roll back northeast. Oh. That way, sorry. 9 noble virtues. Honor. I stand by my oaths and honor my ancestors by keeping my name pure among my kindred. Hermetic principles. Mentality. The all is mind. The universe is mental. Hermetic principles. Cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is law, not recognized. Nothing escapes the law. Dale Carnegie, making a lasting impression. Discuss what matters to them. Discuss, communication and stuff. This goes back to communication. Discuss with the people. Don't think about what matters to you. Think about what matters to the person you're talking to. Don't make it so much so about you than it is about them. And discussing what matters to them will leave the impression that you are a caring, empathetic, individual, and you care more about other people's needs than your own, which is the way it should be. But it's kind of the lesson you need to learn. Hermetic principle, vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Dale Carnegie, make a lasting impression. Listen and encourage others to talk. Don't monopolize conversations. All right, Taurus, what are your lessons and stuff? All right. All right. All right. Ooh, got a lot. 7 spiritual laws of success. Cause and effect. No debt ever goes unpaid. Become conscious of your actions and thoughts so you'll sow good seeds and reap good rewards. Practice mindfulness and listen to your intuition. Sword of the Spirit, Ephesians 6:18. Praying at all times in the Spirit with all prayer and supplication. To that end, keep alert with all perseverance, making supplication for all the saints. Universal law, law of polarity. There are 2 sides to everything. Tai Chi trigrams. A pang, outward expansion. Expand outward. Or you're going to. Alright, 10 Commandments. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Universal law, law of relativity. And actually with this, when I think of this, I think not just gods, but what we worship, what we hold close, what we, value the most. Do we value God, or do we value other people? Do we value what we have? Do we value money? Do we value, our environment or the world or what we can do? What is our values in that? Because some people, hold tighter to money and things that can be easily taken from them more than they do God. Which is precisely the reason why when, shit starts flying everywhere in a tornado that is the upheaval of change in your life, the first things that are taken from you are the things that you hold dearest. Because those are the things that, the universe, okay, you're getting a little bit too comfortable holding on to that shit right now. It's your little safety blanket. You're dragging it around. It's full of dirt. Time to let it go, sweetheart. Yes, I know it's pretty, you like it, and it's been with you for this long, but there's other things. You can get a new blanket. Okay? Just let me carry this. Just let go. Surrender. Because, if you value money over people, then you're having another god over spirit, over the universe, over God, or whatever God that you pray to. Alright, law of relativity. It's all relative. Bushido, honesty and sincerity. This is the Makato. When warriors say that they will perform an action, it is as good as done. Nothing will stop them from completing what they say they will do. They do not have to give their word. They do not have to promise. Law of karma, the law of giving and hospitality. Our behavior should match our thoughts and actions. Okay, 9 noble virtues. Truth. I seek the truth even though it may be a hard truth. I speak true words or stand in silence. I defend the truth from those who do not honor it. And 7 spiritual laws of success. Giving and receiving. The universe operates in a dynamic exchange of energy where you give, you receive. You give unconditionally and show gratitude for what you will receive. It will multiply in time. Alright. Divine Masculine. What do you got? Alright. Divine Masculine. We got the 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your words. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. 7 spiritual laws of success. Least effort. Learn to let nature's intelligence unfold itself. See law of giving and receiving on energy. Be in the moment. Take responsibility in difficult times. Stop ruminating on the negative energy. Alright, laws of karma. The law of responsibility. We must take responsibility for what is in our lives. 9 noble virtues. Perseverance. I press on against all odds until my goal is met and the task is finished. Bushido. Integrity. Be acutely honest and throughout your dealings with all people. Believe in justice not from other people but from yourself. To the true warrior, all points of view are deeply considered regarding honesty, justice, and integrity. Laws of karma, the law of creation. Life does not happen by itself. We need to make it happen. Bushido, respect. True warriors have no reason to be cruel. They do not need to prove their strength. Warriors are courteous even to their enemies. Warriors are not only respected for their strength in battle, but also their dealing with others. All right, rules of life. You are in charge of your happiness. Can't rely on other people to make you happy. You got to find the happiness within you. So let me see if I can turn the camera around so you guys can see how I lined up all these cards. So you can see the layout. Oops. Oops! Apparently not. Alright, well, maybe I can... There's a Divine Masculine. Taurus. And the fan. Okay, I'm gonna upload this now. Have a good one. Thank you for being here.